Yeah, it was. Cool. All right. Let's get started. Been a while since I've streamed. Oh man, I really am kind of tired still. But whatever, I gotta be up. Also, haven't done anything in a while. Unstage changes. What kind? Oh. Mm-hmm. If we get conflicts, though. Yes. Oh. There we go. Oh. That doesn't surprise me. Why is this modified? I don't know. It's like I was doing something. I don't remember. Hmm. Another thing I need to do. I might actually have to uh, grab these again too. Uh, Let me do that. Oh, how's that unmerged? Okay. Now we got that out of the way. Do another pull. Take a look at what we got on projects. Nice. Right, I was working on the control layout. Is the last thing I was working on. Oh, so look at this. So weekly done. It is now Sunday. I wish there was an easier way for me to drag these all over here. That's cool. And let's look at the control layout. I was working on the control layout just to have a way to show it, not necessarily change the controls, but to just show the control layout. Also, let's go here. Wrong button, but I should probably have that open too, huh? Throw on some music. I actually don't know if music's on or off. Looks like it's on. Oh. Oh, no. Weird. Hmm. Hmm. Because this. Oh, I guess that does nothing, huh? Wait, why does that do nothing? Ah, because it got disconnected from the app. How do I fix that? Hmm. Yeah, it only does it for line out too. Oh. It'd be great if there was a way to do it for both of them. How would I even make that happen? Let me go here and just try to drop a new one. How do I reauthorize it or whatever? Hmm. That's right. I clicked this button, I think. Mm-hmm. That's the one. And now this will toggle that on and off, but how do I make it toggle both? Let's experiment here and try to get this working with like a multi-action maybe? Multi-action switch. How come it only lets me do... Oh. Oh shit, I screwed these up. That's fine, I can just as well turn them the other way. See if this works. Trying to make a quick toggle switch here. What should I do first? Line out broadcast. Bum 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 bum. Cool, now it's on. Cool, now it's off. And to check that this is working right, we're gonna throw this up. Oh dude, that's sick. It works. I wish I knew how to change the icon though. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Create new icon. Wait, is that right? Oh, there we go. Music on. Music off. Sick. Nice. Oops. Now I gotta just move this from here to the other one. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Sick. Okay, cool. Sorry to get distracted there. I always end up doing a little bit of like workspace work, workflow work, beginning of every stream, or even in the middle of every stream. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Make sure everything runs okay now that I did a git pull. Yep, this is the new menu. That's not right. Okay, whatever. Controls. Oh, look. That's it. So I think that's also done. I don't know how good and readable it is, but it's something. But still, I think this is like pretty close to ready for an initial release, right? And then we get this out for an initial release. We fix up some bugs. We add some more levels. Maybe add a couple more minor game mechanics. I have so many freaking keys, dude. Oh, is that a bug? How many keys do I have? Hey, so it's only showing 4 keys. That's interesting. Do I have like a maximum number of keys or something? Let me open up my HUD. Yeah, look at that. I only have player HUD, 4 keys. That's actually funny. That's really funny. Do I have a hard limit of keys that I can hold? This is something I need to look into. Let's go here and add another thing for here. Maximum HUD shows 4 keys max. Let's put it as a bug. Which is fine. If we have 4 keys max, then we'll make it so that you can't pick up more keys. But if you can actually hold more than 4 keys, then once you have more than 4 keys, we should probably just show the key icon with some text and how many keys you've got. So this is done. This was actually already done, so we'll put that into weekly done from last week. And we can look at these. Input designator does not work with splash screen. So what I was looking at was the last thing I was looking at, which it's gonna probably take, I don't know. I don't know that I ever got. I'm looking for my controller now. I don't know if I ever got my, oh, it's right here. I mean, it's sitting here on my desk, which makes me think I did get this working. The Bluetooth. Let's see. No, it looks like this connected to my Mac just now. Because my Mac just turned on behind me. But let's just see. I'm pretty sure I don't have Bluetooth set up here. I do not. So let me hit the pairing button. I actually don't even know how to pair this to my Linux. So we're gonna have to look that up. Let's take this. Oh, I've got 2, I've got 3. It's gonna go to desktop 4. Arch Linux pair gamepad. Enable to pair gamepad on Arch Linux. Ensure your system is up to date and install essential tools. Joystick latest GTK EV test blues utils. Enable and start the Bluetooth service. Check D message. Well, of course that's not gonna work. Oh, plug it in via USB. Most wired controllers are auto-detected via kernel drivers. Use XPad Neo driver for full functionality. Load the module, add to boot, pair via Bluetooth CTL. Okay. This looks familiar. Bluetooth CTL. Power on. Agent on. Default agent. Scan on. I think it's this one. Pair. Not available. MAC address. Oops. What is this Dell controller? This is what I want. I think that's the one I had already. Right, pair MAC address. I don't know what this Dell means. Connect MAC address. Device unavailable. Not available. Why are you not available? Govi? Test input with JS test GTK. Am I crazy? Well, I mean, Bluetooth service is clearly working. I'm scanning for things. It's finding things. Maybe the easy way to do it is to just plug it in. Linux has two different input systems for gamepads, the original joystick interface and the newer EVDev, event dev based interface. Dev input JSX maps the joystick API interface and dev input event maps to the evdev ones. This also includes other input devices such as mice and keyboards. Symbolic links to those devices are also available in dev input by ID and dev input by path, where the legacy joystick API has names ending in -joystick, while the evdev names end with event joystick. Most new games will default to the evdev interface as it gives more detailed information about the buttons and axes available, and also adds support for force feedback. Many applications use STL to access gamepads. STL1 defaults to the evdev interface, but it can be forced to use the joystick by setting environment variables to STL joystick device. STL2 and 3 default to using the HID API on the most popular controllers in order to get raw access on other controllers, or if the HID API is disabled. They use evdev instead. STL itself offers different APIs, the selection of which depends on the application. Their usage is not mutually exclusive. STL joystick is supported in all versions and maps the evdev or joystick events one-to-one with STL's own. STL game controller, okay, this is all good to know. Unless you're using a very old joystick that uses a game port, or a proprietary USB protocol, you will just need the generic USB human interface device modules. For an extensive overview on all joystick modules, blah blah blah. Some joysticks, okay. Loading modules for analog devices, USB gamepads. What about Bluetooth? Does it mention Bluetooth? If commands, blah blah blah, It could be because your controller is connected via Bluetooth. Well, my thing is still searching. I'd love to have a GUI thing to connect my gamepad. That's not as confusing. Arch Linux pair Bluetooth device. Let's look for a GUI, because I feel like this is something that is a little bit more difficult. Blue Man. I don't have it. And then system control enable now. Bluetooth. Oh, Bluetooth's already on. I don't know. I hit one randomly. I don't know that that's the actual. I don't know if that's what I just installed. I guess they're the same thing. Search. Oh, sick. This is the same thing I was just seeing. I don't know. Nope. Connected to my Mac again. It should pop up in here. Okay, I kind of see why the command line interface was a little bit nicer, because the command line would have already shown me the device I'm looking for. I don't know how often this one pulls. Okay, so Bluetooth adapters doesn't open anything. It's crazy that all these devices are in pairing mode right now. I don't know why it's not showing up. It's fucking wild, dude. None of these buttons do anything. Okay, so this is probably the reason I don't use the GUI. Literally none of the buttons in this app work. That was Blue Moon. That's so weird. Like, it's literally the first device that pops up. Let me just look this up. But it won't let me trust it either. Of course it's powered on. Yeah, cache. Oh. That. Damn it. That's probably a real thing. Hmm. Huh.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Game over.
Oh. So, sudo system control restart Bluetooth. And let me try through this sucker. Because this might work now. It doesn't. That's crazy. That's wild that it doesn't show up here. Not available. Fuck. Hmm. That's a wild one. I don't believe that for a second. But let's look at the other thing it recommended. What was it? I don't know what I'm looking for in here though. You could try updating the whole system. I'm worried that might break something, but it has been a few weeks since I have updated the system. Yeah, that keeps going to the other computer. Terrible, yes. Why would it not be available? Hold on. Okay. Just turning Bluetooth off on the other computer. Okay, that's not it. You can also try just wiring it. This one. Yeah, it's there actually. Well, I don't know what I just deleted. It shows us before I even did anything. Change parable, yes.
Nice computer you got here.
So it's yeah, it does show, and it shows in discovering here.
It's me, Mario. Let's go.
Not available. Yeah, because it shows it as change, not new. Not available. Yeah, nothing's available. I don't know. Let's try this. Unplug this, and what is this? USB-C? I need a USB-C to type A cable. Do I have something like that? Hold on. Next problem, do I have, yeah, a USB-C type A. A USB type A. Okay. Using the wired connections, not the worst thing in the world. So let's go to Godot. See if this is working. So no, it's not, right? I forgot the F5. Yeah. Doesn't work. Specifically when I have this skip intro set. Or is it the opposite? Yeah, that's weird. Oh wait, that time it popped up. It's like kind of inconsistent, maybe. What's the there we go. But if I disconnect it here or here, it does happen. So let's look into this. I'll keep Skintro. Skintro, that sounds a little, yeah. I'll keep skip intro on and we'll see if we can figure out what to do about that. So first off, I think it's input designator that does this. Let's look at the ready joy connection change connect on joy connection change. Yes, connected if device connected, else disconnected. Right, so what I want to do here is clear out my logs, hit play, and I don't even get the message. Right, but if I do this, I get the disconnect. So why does that happen? Okay, globals. I actually don't even know how this is tied into my code anymore at this point. Input designator. It doesn't have a class name, which makes me think it is a global, and then I'm blind and I don't see it in this list somewhere. Well, actually, I guess a good hint here would be where the heck did I put it? It's under menu input designator. So no, I don't even have it here. So what the heck is going on? What the hecky Becky? Input. Okay. Oh, because I see. It doesn't have a script name because it just exists here in the menu. So on game or main scene, one of these. Probably the main scene. No, I lied. Oh, the menu scene. I'm a dummy. Main menu? Now, where does the menu go? Base menu, main menu, root menu. That's where it is, root menu. And where the heck is root menu? Oh my god. Main. What the hell happens in main? Game root menu happens in main. Okay. Oh, I see. Game ready.emit. And what the heck is game ready? Object factory. Okay. I see what's going on. So I think the mistake here is me setting the splash screen as the main scene. That's the simplest way to kind of do this, but yeah, I think it's just a mistake. I think this should just always be the main. I mean, it doesn't. That was the easy way to do it, but it also doesn't make any sense. So what we should actually do is have this be the main scene. And then when I run it, now of course it's gonna pop up instantly, right? Good. That's what we want. That fixes the issue. But now we lose our splash screens, right? So we need to bring the splash screen back. So in order to bring splash screen back, we gotta edit our main, right? Now I don't know if the issue is that there's a race condition, and this is going to be the tricky part. I don't know if it's a race condition that the event is firing before we subscribe to it was the reason why it wasn't working, or if there's something else here going on at play. So if I do this, it means I have to go to my splash screen, and splash no longer redirects to the main scene. I wish it showed me a name somewhere, but it does not. So then where should the splash screen go afterwards? See, this is why, so the way my splash screen works, basically it doesn't work well with this. But maybe instead of loading another scene, I don't know. No, it still kind of makes sense. I mean, they both kind of make sense. Having a central entry point definitely makes sense. Hmm. Ah. Background color. Yeah, because if I move this, yeah, exactly, right? So maybe, okay, hear me out. Maybe I remove this idea of having a next scene, right? This just goes gone, right? So we open up Splash, and next scene is not a thing anymore. Um, Load next scene. Right? So next. So what do I do here? Right? Change scene to packed. Something else has to happen here. I'm having some ideas. One is that over here in ready. Wait, what does create nodes actually get called from? Okay, on game reset. Oh, I see. So this would happen probably in ready. We would have a thing like show splash. And then here we would have it's crazy that it's not showing the splash scene file. Why? It is called splash, right? It is. Let's go like this. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da, ba-do, ba-do-do. Let's redrop that someplace random. We'll fix it. And actually, needs to be renamed. Right? And then we're gonna say that's kind of all we needed to do right now. I also don't know why. Oh, there we go, because we didn't have keyboard focus. But now the other thing here, I think, is that if I go, whoops, oh, that's how I ended up with, there we go. So let's go here. Hey, what's up, Yami guys? We go here, and then I remove this. This is the part that I'm scared about. If I don't skip the intro, I'm pretty sure it's still gonna go straight into that menu. Yep. How's things going? Not too bad. Still gonna go into that menu because I need to make a queue. How do I do that? Oh, because I emit that here. Okay, I got an idea. I participated in the Global Game Jam 2026. It was fun. That's cool. That's exciting that they have it so early in the year. You can just get on it right away. Oops. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. Fine. So probably what I want to do is don't emit that until after this comes back. I see. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to name this Splash. I got it. But honestly, it was in person and I had to bring my PC there and I don't have a laptop, so it was tiring. Oof. That does sound tiring. Bring an entire rig there. How did it go? What did you work on? What did you make? I think what I want to do is maybe have a list of callback functions that we can add. So we'll have like a var callbacks as an array of callables. At least I got first place out of the groups there. Nice. And I did it alone while others did it in groups of 5. That's cool. So I think what we want to do here oof. But oof. Not an array, because this thing is going to get deleted every time. It's a single callback. Yeah, it's a single callback, and then we just chain all of these scenes together. I think is the right way to do it. Instead of making this, like, I could make the scene reconfigurable, but maybe it's better to have it be configurable anyways, but to do the configuration on the outside. And have it create and remove the scenes and just deal with that. It's on itch.io too. That's awesome. It's basically a crazy dude making a Game Boy style game. Oh, I was basically a crazy dude. That's very cool though. What's it called? What's the warning? That's unused. Yeah, that's fair. So we're gonna go call back and then queue free. That's not how that works. We have to do .call, I think, right? Yeah. Callback.call, queue free, and then we have to assign the callback somehow. Through a function. I guess if it's gotta be, there's no like constructor, right? If we have to use instantiate. So it doesn't really matter whether it's a function or not, unless in the future we add more things than we would want a function to make our lives easier. So we'll just do that now, and we'll call this, what was I calling it before? Init? No, I was calling it setup, I think, because init gets used. Void xm. Setup. Dude, I'm so jet lagged. I was fine when I got up at 4 a.m. and then I decided to take a nap. Now, actually, I was hungry and I ate, and then that made me fall asleep pretty easily. And then I got up again at 6 and I was like, okay, I'm cool. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm not cool. And now I went back to bed again and I woke up at like 9. And this hour has been just like fuzziness in my brain. 48 hours and almost no sleep. That's definitely worse than me. It's just my schedule, my rhythm is completely off right now. That's my issue. That's why I'm tired. My body's not sure whether it's supposed to be awake or not. Because normally this would be 3 a.m. for me. So, okay. Callback. Callable. So we can do that. Oh. I see. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I was thinking about putting this all in its own method, but it could be in another setup method later. Like that it does the instantiation and sets all, there's only one now, but all of the variables kind of atomically in one function. Now I've been adding stuff to the game as I've won tickets to another event to show off my game there. That is very cool. I should make it a point to do a game jam by the end of the year. I haven't done one yet, and I'm sure I would learn a lot by doing that. So splash equals this, and we're gonna say splash dot setup. Configure's a good name too. And then how do I make? Oh, signal bus dot game reset. I think that works. Enter the low res gem. It's worth it in my opinion. I've heard of that one. Is that what it's called? I don't know if that's the exact name, but I've heard of game jams like that. Come on, dude. Okay, so I'm guessing what's happening usually around June to August. Okay, cool. Oh, now it's not getting picked up at all. My game just frozen? My game's frozen. Makes sense. Gotta Fix my posture here, dude. My neck's been in a lot of pain. I think I made pretty good progress on my neck yesterday, though, in terms of making it feel a little bit better. Oof, right there. Yeah, there's a knot right there. I can feel it. Oh, that's exactly right there. What are you trying to do? So, I was adding some polish to this game to prepare it for release. That's the background story. One of the things I did was I added this splash screen to make it look polished. Now, I have this mechanism in my game, which maybe the mechanism just doesn't work the way it should. But it listens for gamepad changes, game input changes, and then when it gets a new controller, it pops open a screen to let you assign that controller to a player. So, problem is, once I added this splash screen in front of my main scene, then what happened was the input designator, as I'm calling it, stopped showing up. And I think it's because the event happens before that scene gets loaded, so it never gets the event. So what I probably need to do is do some sort of caching. And what I did here is not really caching. So if I throw this in, this is probably working. Actually, we can test that right now. Oops. Probably need to cache the event and make it wait for this to finish. Alright, and if I unplug it, there we go. Yeah, it does work. Right. So I need to just sort of listen for that event before this even happens, and then pop it open. So either I go to my designator, which subscribes to that event, and I somehow tell it to wait. Or, well, I could do two things. I could just change the implementation. Like I could not change the implementation, but change the expected behavior to sort of match the way it's working now. And I could add a button in to just manually pop that. And that would kind of fix things, right? But then I have to change the flow. That's what I'm kind of getting at. I would have to change the flow of my game right now, which I don't know that I want to do. So probably caching is the best way to do it. Either caching or just have a way that the scene doesn't show above the splash screen. Because if I do this, right? Let's get rid of this. I think it's gonna have a problem if it's null. So let's go like this. And then we'll go in here and put this the way it was before. I can show you what I'm talking about here. I mean, it's not like a super difficult problem, I don't think. Yeah, see, so this will actually skip the splash screen, which is not what I want. So maybe, let me see how that actually works. It adds root menu and then input designator. Oh. Let me see, hold on. Enjoy connection changed. So what is it actually doing? Update game count, show needed columns. What part of this actually makes it show up? Is it part of main menu? Game ready dot emit, game reset dot connect, and game reset. Before it was happening down here. Get children. Whoa, where did my... Oh, create nodes. I see. Root menu, that's the one. Root menu. Switch menu, because something is making it switch the menu to the input designator. Input designator. Sub menu. So I don't know. I don't remember how I have this set up. Because maybe I can just make the splash screen sort of overlay on top of everything else, and then when the game loads in, that'll just be the first thing that you see, and then I don't have to actually cache anything. That'd be nice. Otherwise, I have to set up something to sort of like a flag to cache that, hey, the, you know, input's changed, and we got to show this, which is, if we cache it, it's also a little bit error prone, because if the controller number changes again, then maybe we wouldn't even have to show it in the first place type of deal. Oh, because it's probably doing this? No. Oh, because it's a switch. Probably how I'm calling it, yeah. There it is, there it is. On character selection.gd. That's wild. Okay, so it's not happening from the input designator, it's happening on here. And that's why when the menu's not open, that never gets fired. And the menu's not loaded yet. That makes sense. On joy connection changed. Okay, so, okay, I got it. So showing the splash, we're adding the child here, but we're probably, oh no, it happens. I don't, but it's a signal, right? Well, on the other hand, using a signal to talk to itself is a little bit weird. Create nodes. Node and get children. Oh. me just try this real quick. Sort of synchronize these events. Nope. I wanted to see, not that I want it to the code to look like this, but I want to see how these two functions, the order of these two functions affects one another. That makes sense? Yeah, doesn't look like they really impact each other very much. So I can keep this up here, which is where I want it to be. The other thing I was thinking is that maybe this doesn't happen here and we like call on game reset here or something like that instead of using a signal for it. This is a bit weird. Oh. That's funny. Now it skipped the intro and the designator. Probably because something else, the game reset, didn't fire yet. Oh, the other thing maybe is that maybe what happens here is that we don't fire game ready until the splash is done. And then when the game is ready, we can show the other thing here, right? Nope. But I think that will work. I think what we just need to do here is on joy connection changed. I need to wait for the other signal to apply somehow. I guess we would make a locking mechanism and we would say like, here I would go signal bus dot game ready dot connect on game ready. Game is ready. Right? It's kind of a crummy way to do this. And or wait, hold on. Yes, we would do it the opposite way, like this. Needs input remap. And the trigger would be the game ready event, which doesn't fire until the menu shows. Oh, it locked up. Why is it not working? Well, the other thing isn't showing, but neither is a splash screen. What the hecky? Yeah, That's fine. So somehow this is now having an effect where it didn't have an effect before. What the hell's going on here? I don't see how that changes anything. Right, let's go like this. Because this is basically what it should be like before. And before it was showing the screen, right? I guess it wasn't showing the screen before. That's weird. Only difference is that we're not emitting down here. We're emitting... Oh. Okay. I'm confused, man. Perfect. I question so much of this. I think the problem with this is that I don't even know, like, why is it not showing the scene? Isn't that weird? It's instantiating it, presumably, adding it as a child. But it's not showing it somehow? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove this. Because what I want to do here is go to the 2D and look at the remote scene tree. Root main splash is here and supposedly visible. Oh, but game. Oh, but root menu is below it because it's a canvas layer. If I go like this, then we'll be able to see it. Yes. That's what's happening. It's a Z ordering issue. So the order that I add the child doesn't matter because this is a node 2D and it is not a canvas layer. Let's change this to a canvas layer. I think that'll fix the problem. Because now our situation's changed. Now adding it afterwards should make it at the bottom of the, or the frontmost of the Z index. Oh, right. Canvas layer. Might not be able to do some of the things in here that might have been in control for a reason. Cool. And it just didn't disappear because we took this away. There we go. Cool. Now we're slowly putting things back the way they were. Ish. Yes, we're gonna put this back. Now it should pop up. Things should work the way I wanted. Boom! Got him. Okay. Okay. Now, maybe not the greatest flow in the game, right? Like maybe what we could do instead is on the main menu, like there's just a button that says start game. Then maybe we should maybe have like play and then multiplayer or something. I don't know, single player, multiplayer, or yeah, right. And then multiplayer would just pop open that screen. Is another way to do that, but I think this is good for now. This kind of maintains the same flow, more or less, that we had previously. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to emit the signal in here. I mean, we could, but it kind of is a weird thing to emit the signal from the same file. Oh, but that's, let's test this all the way through. Oh man, this feels pretty good. Being stingy with my keys for absolutely no reason. And I don't even know why I'm collecting treasure. Let's just speed run. Oh, okay, this is another bug. Let's grab a screenshot of that. I don't have a button for taking screenshots, do I? Oh, that's cool. Copy. Add a new bug here. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Cool. That's neat. Okay. And then when we continue here, it goes back to the splash screen. It's fine for now. And it doesn't load that other thing again because the inputs haven't changed. Which is also kind of a bug because it sets us up for another multiplayer game, presumably. Kind of assumes that we want to do another multiplayer game. So maybe we do want to change the flow of this at some point, but let's just get our changes in right now. Oh, and then we have to test it with the skipping also. Yeah, so splash, splash input designator or character select character selection and project fix use main as main scene. Wait for splash show input designator. And now let's go here. Whoops. Discard this change and test again. And now it should just, nope, doesn't work. Shikaka. Because we skipped the intro. That shouldn't happen because when we skip intro, we call load next scene, which should call the callback. Oh, but it happens in ready. Ready doesn't happen until we add it to the scene though. So that should not be an issue. Very confused about why it's not showing right now. Right? Oof. Makes me feel like this is not getting fired. Oh, it is getting fired. Wait, what? It should be getting fired right here. It should be fine, actually. This would be the same thing as, yeah, what I was doing before. I don't know. Quick ad break. I'm gonna get up and stretch. I may need to eat. How long have I been on for? About 2 hours. Might just be time for me to take a break permanently. Let me... What time is it? Oh, it's almost 11. And I haven't eaten yet. I should eat. Okay, be right back. Hello? Hello?
Game over. Game over. Game over.
All right. So, for some reason, this doesn't work. Doesn't work when we're skipping for some reason. So let's go here. Right. I think it never gets that. Yeah, it never gets that. Probably never gets that event, period. Oh, it does. Oh. Interesting. It's a race condition. Hmm. I see. So we need to do both. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is not good. I'm doing it anyway. I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Is game ready? Now it should work. Okay. And then, what's the other one? Go into here. Move, skip intro. Make sure we didn't break anything for this. Sick. Now, fix show input designator when skip intro is passed. Fix race condition to show. Now both scenarios work fine. Everyone's happy. I know I'm happy. Daily done. That's an easy one to fix. We're gonna put that top. Yeah, we'll leave this in sorted priority like this. And let me go back here. And I gotta go make breakfast. I'm hungry. I've been up for too many hours without eating. Might be the other reason why I was so tired, actually. Probably should have just eaten something. Oh, because I hit LS, that's why. What is in this file, actually? Oh, the status of all of them, I guess. Workspace doesn't really need to be updated. Okay. Time to eat. I will catch you.